Tell ya, I tried. This girl is not going to stop until she takes somebody out the league. This girl will not stop until she ends somebody's career. Djonai Carrington, once again, with another dirty foul in less than a week. In just a couple of days apart from each other. A couple of days apart from the Sophie Cunningham hard foul. You have Mrs. Eye Poke, Mrs. Flagrant foul. I'm gonna grab your head, I'm gonna hit your head upside your head, knock you out the air. Mrs. I'm gonna pull your hair. Mrs. I'm gonna whack you on the back of your head. Mrs. Long nailed, sharp knobbed fingertips, Djonai Carrington.
When it comes to Dijonai Carrington, here she is on the floor being dirty once again. The girl cannot help herself at this point. She can't help it. Take a look at this. Okay, you swing at the ball, but then you hit her all in the face with your other hand, and then you put your hands up like you didn't do nothing. You hitting her all in the face. Look at this. Watch her left hand. The right hand right here went to the ball. Watch this left hand. Like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? What are you doing? Enough. When is enough with this chick? Come on. You hitting people in the face. It's over and over and over. How many times do we have to witness? She goes again. Hide your face, hide your neck, duck your head, wear an NFL football helmet when you are playing in a game versus Djonai Carrington. Fresh off of clotheslining, a Kane and Undertaker clothesline from hell that she delivered to Sophie Cunningham. This girl is right back on the court, hitting people upside the head once again.
Hands up, swipe for the ball with our right hand while poking the player in the eye with the left hand.
The eyeball. We're poking eyeballs out again. Is that what we're doing?
We're both hands up right after. That's Dijonai.
Yeah, I gouged another white girl. Yeah, I gouged another white girl while wearing your Sophie Cunningham wig. I am officially. Hey, this ain't Clerks 2, but I'm taking back Sophie Cunningham's hair. I'm taking it back. You got Sophie Cunningham's hair on while you're poking the white girls in the eyeballs.
What happens when Stephen A. Smith stops simply breaking down the Indiana fever and starts putting Stephanie White's leadership under the microscope? That is exactly where this latest controversy is heading. A heated situation involving Sophie Cunningham, Djonai Carrington, and a controversial coaching decision has created new questions around White's handling of the team, while Caitlin Clark and her teammates now find themselves caught in the middle of the discussion. But the bigger question is why Stephen A. went after White so directly in the first place. What did he see in her decision-making that made him question her leadership so publicly? And more importantly, could this confrontation be revealing problems inside Indiana that go far beyond one game, one foul, or one coaching decision?
To defend her, the story, the narrative that she's not a dirty player, she makes plays like this all the time. I put together a little clip of Djonai Carrington, who is definitely one of the dirtiest players in the WNBA. I don't know if we can roll it, but she's taken her long fingernails. She's scratched Caitlin Clark's eyes out. She's had multiple instances of chasing people down from behind, trying the same swat and smashing them in the head and causing mini fights. She pulled another girl's hair. I don't know if we'll get to that clip in a second when she's falling. Totally dirty play. This is not a skin color thing. She has a history of making dirty
on Djonai Carrington against Sophie Cunningham, where she proceeded to go into the locker room and tweet white privilege after being thrown out of the game. I'm not going to comment on that situation, but I will say this. This is a flagrant 2. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, don't matter. This is a flagrant. I mean, she clotheslined her. What more do you want? So this looks very bad. It just shows that the WNBA is nowhere near where they need to be professionally, because again, this is a clothesline.
After getting tossed from the game, but says it wasn't about the foul. Can you explain this?
No, I can't. When she tweeted white privilege, she did it so quickly, it was almost as though she had the phone in her pocket after this foul and she got ejected. So, I mean, to say she wasn't referring to this play or getting kicked out and saying that the only reason she got kicked out and it got upgraded is because Sophie Cunningham is white is crazy. It was a crazy thing to tweet. Maybe crazier than to try to act like it had nothing to do with the play. So I have no idea what she's talking about. I don't think anybody can have any.
Stephen A. Smith has taken the latest Indiana Fever controversy to an entirely different level. Because this time, the conversation isn't just about whether Stephanie White got one decision wrong. It's about whether that decision reveals something deeper about her leadership and the way she is managing this team.
Decapitated Sophie Cunningham's head. And even though she bloodied Sophie Cunningham's mouth, and even though she got ejected and ran straight to Twitter after being assessed a flagrant 2, and putting white privilege in caps while tagging the Indiana Fever, we the public, we the fans of the WNBA, we the fans of Sophie Cunningham, and we the fans of good basketball, we're just stupid because we inferred that Dijonai Carrington tweeting white privilege, of course, had something to do with the flagrant 2 and the ejection. But Dijonai is coming out to set the record straight, baby. She said that we're stupid, we lack critical thinking skills, and in no way, shape, or form would she ever use the word of white privilege.
The real issue now goes far beyond one controversial decision. The bigger question is whether Stephanie White still has the full trust of the players she is expected to lead. With Stephen A. Smith pressing the issue so publicly, the questions surrounding White's leadership are becoming harder and harder for Indiana to ignore.
Y'all look at y'all favorite player.
Went over to one of the officials, as you see Sarah Williams there.
She trying to make it seem like a fan did something crazy to her, right? While I watch.
At the moment.
Look at what y'all looking at. They going to talk to that dude. They've been trying to make him leave, right? She's trying to get somebody kicked out. So he getting up. He end up leaving, right? He end up leaving. So they got to investigate. They got to investigate. Now look at the fourth quarter. Look at who you see back 10 out there.
U.S. women's.
He's sitting right there. That's him right there. And see, these are the type of games that they play when they in the wrong, right? And it's not a coincidence that this stuff has happened because she's been dirty forever, but has she been getting people kicked out like that or attempting to get people kicked out like that? No. Now all of a sudden, now it's time to start kicking people.
The controversy started with one physical play that quickly became far bigger than anyone expected. During Indiana's August 8th matchup with Chicago, Djonai Carrington was ejected after making heavy contact with Sophie Cunningham around the head and neck area during a breakaway opportunity. After reviewing the sequence, officials upgraded the call to a flagrant 2, bringing Carrington's night to an immediate end, but the ejection was only the beginning. What happened on the court sparked a much larger debate afterward, turning one controversial play into a storyline that continued to dominate the conversation long after the final buzzer.
Bow, went for the ball. I mean, like, where the, like, there's no, you hit the ball on that one, and right here, like, it's like, all right, I missed the ball, now I gotta smack you. I like, come on, guys. Like, and I know the community is gonna say she went for the ball. Yeah, I know her head might be shaped like a ball. We all, it's a similarity there. But there's no way Dijonai Carrington continuously gets away with this time after time after time. Like, the compilations, Dijonai, is not good. It's not good. It's not good for you. It's absolutely not good for you. You're poking people in the eye, flagrant fouling people. Like, what are you doing? You swipe for the ball and then you smack the right in the eyes. Like,
under normal circumstances, the basketball portion of the story should have ended right there. There was a controversial foul, the officials reviewed the play, made their ruling, and the teams could have simply moved forward. Instead, the incident grew into something much larger. Before long, the conversation expanded into player safety, coaching decisions, social media reactions, race, politics, and even questions about Stephanie White's future in Indiana. The Fever were no longer dealing with just an on-court incident, they were also facing scrutiny over how their head coach addressed it afterward. White's explanation might have seemed straightforward to some people, but others were left unconvinced after watching the available footage for themselves. Cameras capture the action without regard for relationships, press conferences, or carefully worded explanations, and clips of the Carrington-Cunningham incident quickly became a major part of the online debate that created an uncomfortable disconnect between what some viewers believed they saw on the court and what White later described.
Didn't break more WNBA rules by being on her phone while being ejected. That is a widely spread rumor that started basically after the game and went into overnight. That she should be suspended because she was on her phone after being ejected, and then somebody shared this rule or a screenshot of WNBA rules. So I went to the rules myself. It's a 91-page document, and I've been searching every keyword and every possibility to try to find this rule that they're saying exists. That players aren't allowed to be on any electronic device or their phones 30 minutes before the game for 30 minutes.
Stephen A. Smith did not frame the controversy as a simple argument over whether the officials made the right call. His focus was much broader. He questioned what the incident revealed about Stephanie White's responsibilities as the head coach of the Indiana Fever. That distinction matters. A head coach is expected to have a clear understanding of what is happening on the floor, especially when one of her players takes significant contact and is left on the court. From Smith's perspective, leadership means recognizing the seriousness of the moment and responding accordingly, not waiting until social media has already dissected the play from every possible angle. That expectation became a major part of the criticism surrounding White. Fans were already circulating multiple replay angles and debating the incident online, which only intensified questions about whether her initial reaction matched what the footage appeared to show. Some observers have even speculated that White's familiarity with Carrington may have influenced the way she initially viewed the play. But that remains speculation, not established fact. Having a previous relationship with a player does not automatically mean a coach will excuse that player's actions or deliberately misrepresent what happened. The more defensible question is simply whether White's public explanation matched her responsibility to accurately assess and communicate what happened on the court. That is the leadership issue Smith pushed to the center of the debate.
How many times, how many people are you just going to hit in the face? Let me freeze right there. It's like every single game you are hitting somebody else in the face. Every game you're hitting somebody in the face like this, and that wasn't even the worst. Take a look at this play right here. This girl's a menace in the league. I'm telling you, she's a menace. It's unsafe for people to be out there with her. It's unsafe. Let's go here. Now take a look at this. You got Tiffany Hayes driving to the rim. And watch, here goes Djonai Carrington right here. Here goes Djonai Carrington. Watch her. You're nowhere near the ball, dude. You are nowhere near the fucking ball. Like, stop.
Coaches naturally develop strong relationships with their players over time. They learn how athletes think, recognize their habits, understand their personalities, and often maintain those connections even after the player moves on. That gives White supporters a reasonable argument. Perhaps she was simply describing how she interpreted the play in real time rather than intentionally defending someone she previously coached, but her critics are asking a much more uncomfortable question. If Carrington had been a complete stranger to White, would she have described the incident in exactly the same way? There is no definitive answer to that, but the question itself has become central to the controversy. Once trust becomes part of the discussion, every statement gets examined more closely. That scrutiny intensified when White addressed the criticism ahead of Indiana's matchup with the New York Liberty. Instead of delivering the carefully measured response coaches typically use when their team is surrounded by controversy, White responded with considerably more edge. Her comments created an unusual contrast. On one hand, she spoke about composure, grace, and humility, while on the other, her tone toward the critics was noticeably confrontational. That combination immediately became another storyline, and suddenly, the controversy wasn't only about what White believed happened during the foul. It was also about how she handled the growing criticism, how much confidence
At some point, the WNBA front office is going to have to admit this chick is intentionally targeting the face. Here's Mick. I don't even know how you do this intentionally. The ball is behind her, and she went for the ball with her right hand while clawing her in the face with her left hand. Yeah. White girls are only 15% of the WNBA, but seem disproportionately targeted by Dijonai, the condiment made by mixing mayonnaise and Dijon mustard. Fair enough. Another dirty play by Dijonai. I wonder, is this white privilege as well? Does this qualify as white privilege? Ooh, this is more like Dijonai.
The emotion behind White's response was impossible to miss. At that point, she was clearly reacting to more than criticism over a single foul. From her perspective, the conversation had expanded into an attack on her character and an attempt to create division around her team, and there is a legitimate argument on White's side. Coaching in the WNBA already comes with enormous pressure, but coaching the Indiana Fever while Caitlin Clark remains one of the biggest names in women's basketball takes that scrutiny to another level. Every lineup decision gets analyzed. Every substitution becomes a debate. Every reaction on the sideline can end up circulating online. At this point, even one controversial foul can generate enough commentary to fill an entire news cycle. The Fever's popularity means White is operating under a microscope that most coaches simply do not face. But that is also why Stephen A. Smith's criticism is focused less on Indiana's record and more on the question of leadership, and that brings the controversy to one of its most uncomfortable moments. Fever fans themselves began booing White inside her own arena. Once criticism reaches that point, the issue is no longer just coming from outside the organization. It raises a much bigger question about whether the coach still has the confidence of the people she is supposed to lead, and the fans who are supposed to support her.